Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to the third and final part of Did Vonderhaar Know What He Was Doing? Before I get started, when I made the first video, I had no intention whatsoever of making this into a three-part series. It was supposed to be just a one-off video, but after I uploaded and watched the video, I thought there was so much more that I could have said. So now we're left with the trilogy, but even if I think of more topics I could have further explored after I finish this commentary, then, you know, so be it. I will not upload a fourth part. But anyway, the reason for the third part is because the other day I watched the multiplayer trailer for Black Ops 2, and I wanted to see why I got excited and wanted to know if the game was anything like it was portrayed in the trailer. What I took from the trailer is how the new additions into the game, like the shock charges, the target finders and the guardians, were intended to be used. The interesting thing here is that these new additions were being shown as being used in a positive and aggressive manner. I mean, did anyone when they watched the trailer think, ooh, these shock charges and target finders are going to be a problem? I know I didn't, and that's because the way they were being portrayed. For instance, the shock charges. The player is running across the turbine and is throwing them aggressively in front of him. He shocks the guy, then throws another one for good measure before taking him out with one burst from the M8A1. I can honestly say that I've never seen them used in this way. Normally they are used by a defensive player, or a camper if you like, and are normally accompanied by a bouncing Betty. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm not using engineer and I get shocked, it's my natural reaction to go prone, because 9 times out of 10 there is a Betty to go with it. On the same map, the player uses the Guardian. Now, when I first saw this, I thought the bridge was going to be a focal point in the map, like you needed to cross it to get to the other side, but we know that if a Guardian was put there, it would be taken out with ease. It would not suppress anyone. It would be way too easy to take out, but anyway, the trailer shows a guy run into a few enemies on the bridge. He's outnumbered, so uses the Guardian to suppress the enemies before taking them out. You know, again, has anyone run into someone using a Guardian this way? I know I certainly haven't. Again, it's normally used by the defensive person. Target finders. Oh, actually, before I talk about the target finders, I'll just quickly talk about the Dragonfire. Do you remember when this was leaked and this was the new cool kill streak for Black Ops 2? In the trailer, it showed that it could be quite devastating. It was taking enemies out with pinpoint accuracy and hit detection, but it also showed it wasn't completely overpowered and could be taken out with just a few bullets. But I don't know about you guys, but when I used that thing, I could barely kill anyone with it. The hit detection with it was awful, and what they didn't show you was how pathetically easy it was just to take out by throwing a random EMP grenade just, you know, in the vicinity of its path. Whilst I love the EMP grenade, it's you know, it is a bit too powerful. I have no problem with it going through walls. Believe me, we need to stop the Blackworm campers. But I think the Dragonfire and possibly the Sentry Gun should have taken, what, 2 EMP hits to take out. These streaks were between an 8 and 10 kill streak to get, and were just ridiculously easy to take out. They could also have possibly reduced the lasting effect of the EMP just by a second or two. But, you know, still make it clear out shock charges, claymores, C4s, Bettys, Guardians, and God knows whatever there is in the game with one blast. Anyway, yeah, target finder. In the trailer, it shows the guys going around with riot shields, and they come up across a few enemies. They plant the shield and whip out the target finder, which shows the enemies who aren't necessarily 100% visible as they blend, well, they blend in with the colours and they take them out. Again, using it in an aggressive manner, and just like the other equipment I mentioned, I barely saw anyone using it like this. It's just guys laying prone or head glitching and aiming down the sights. What pissed me off about the target fire the most is that the tip of my character's penis would stick out behind the crate and my whole body lights up in one big fucking red diamond. There is no way I would have been seen otherwise, and I swear the target finder seems to add damage. I just drop instantly from that thing. So I think what Van got wrong here is that he only thought of the positives of these new items and didn't consider any negatives. I guarantee you target finders were 100% intended to be used as an aggressive attachment. You know, scan the battlefield, and when you see that guy corner camping in a dark corner, just he lights up for a nice easy kill. But no, none of these were used how they were intended to be used as per the trailer. Van, well, I don't think thought of any of the negatives. He thought they were aggressive and would keep the game flowing, when in fact most players only use these to camp their arse off. If you run into a guy who's got a target finder equipped and is running shock charges in the Guardian, you just know that 99 times out of 100 he's going to be a camping douche. What I think Van and Trek should have done is, when they bring brand new attachments and equipment into the game, is try and exhaust as many negatives about it as possible. If these severely outweigh the positives, then just can it, you know, scrap the idea. As I said in my last video, I just don't think target finders and shock charges will return in Treyarch's next installment of Call of Duty, but if for some completely oddball reason they decide to bring target finders back, They would be completely nerfed, maybe only pick up to a certain distance, possibly only enabled if their player is moving, just like kind of like Ghost is as well. Yeah, something like that. But as I said, I just don't think they'll be brought back anyway. But unfortunately, we know that some of the Call of Duty community, well, we know what they can be like. If something is broken, it's just going to be completely abused. So developers really do need to work hard into trying to make something, let's say, well, as least broke as possible, which I think is evident was not done here. But yeah, so the way the new equipment was intended to be used didn't quite happen in the game. That's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the 3-part series of Did Vonderhaar Know What He Was Doing? 3 nuclear gameplays to go with it. So yeah, take care, guys. Have a good day, and I will talk to you all soon.